An apology can include the words "I am sorry" and still fail to repair anything. The injured person may hear the sentence, but not feel understood. That is because an apology is not only a phrase. It is an attempt to restore safety, responsibility, and trust after something has gone wrong. A late apology may feel hollow if the hurt person needed accountability much earlier. The cost is easier to see when changed behavior carries more weight than a dramatic speech. Apologies fail when they focus more on ending discomfort than understanding the harm. Someone may apologize because they hate conflict, want forgiveness quickly, or feel guilty. But if the apology rushes past the wound, the other person may feel pressured instead of repaired. Changed behavior is what turns an apology from words into repair. A weak apology often sounds conditional. "I am sorry if you were hurt," suggests the problem may be the other person's sensitivity. "I am sorry but I was stressed," shifts attention to the excuse. Those phrases may contain regret, but they do not fully own the behavior. This matters because forgiveness pressure is checked before the decision becomes expensive to reverse. A stronger apology names the specific action. "I interrupted you in front of everyone, and that was disrespectful," lands differently from "sorry for everything." Specificity tells the hurt person that the speaker understands what actually caused damage. Public harm often needs public repair because the damage did not happen privately. Impact matters as much as intention. Someone may not intend to embarrass their partner, ignore a friend, or dismiss a coworker. But the impact can still be real. A good apology does not hide behind intention. It makes room for what the other person experienced. An impact statement matters because the hurt person needs to know the harm was understood. Apologies also fail when they demand instant forgiveness. "I said sorry. Why are you still upset?" turns the apology into a transaction. Repair usually needs time, especially if the harm repeated or touched an old fear. Forgiveness cannot be forced on a schedule. An apology works better when it names the impact instead of only explaining the intention. Imagine a partner who keeps arriving late and then says sorry every time. After a while, the apology loses value because the pattern remains. The hurt is no longer just lateness. It is the feeling that their time does not matter enough to create change. A person can notice this when forgiveness pressure is checked before the decision becomes expensive to reverse. Behavior is the second half of an apology. Words open the door, but changed action keeps it open. If someone apologizes for yelling but keeps yelling, the relationship learns that sorry means temporary regret, not repair. Public harm can leave embarrassment, mistrust, or social damage that a private apology cannot fully address. Defensiveness can ruin a sincere attempt. A person may begin well, then panic when they hear pain and start explaining themselves. Explanation can be useful later, but during an apology it often sounds like the speaker is trying to reduce responsibility. Forgiveness pressure can make the apology feel like another demand instead of a repair attempt. Shame can also interfere. When someone feels like a bad person, they may collapse, cry, or seek reassurance from the person they hurt. The focus shifts. The injured person becomes responsible for comforting the offender, and the original harm gets pushed aside. A repair plan gives the harmed person evidence that the pattern is being taken seriously. A useful apology has several parts: naming what happened, acknowledging the impact, taking responsibility, expressing regret, explaining what will change, and giving the other person room to respond. Not every apology needs a formal speech, but the ingredients matter. A simple case as repair plan is checked before the decision becomes expensive to reverse. The apology should match the size of the harm. Forgetting to reply to a message may need a simple acknowledgement. Betrayal, humiliation, or repeated broken promises need deeper repair. Small words cannot carry large damage by themselves. Public harm may require visible accountability, not just a quiet promise. Public harm may require public repair. If someone mocks a coworker in a meeting but apologizes only privately, the coworker may still feel exposed. The repair should address the place where the harm happened, when appropriate and safe. A repair plan is stronger when it changes the conditions that made the harm likely. Some apologies fail because they arrive too late without explanation. Time can make harm feel ignored. A late apology can still matter, but it may need to acknowledge the delay. I should have said this sooner, and I understand that waiting added to the hurt. A good apology is not measured by how quickly the other person moves on. Repair also depends on listening. After apologizing, the speaker may need to hear more about the impact without correcting every detail. Listening does not mean agreeing with every interpretation. It means respecting that the other person's experience deserves space. The pattern becomes concrete when late apology is checked before the decision becomes expensive to reverse. A good apology avoids turning pain into a courtroom. The goal is not to win the exact wording dispute. The goal is to understand how trust was damaged and what would make the relationship safer going forward. The person receiving the apology also has choices. They can accept, ask for time, name what they need, or decide the pattern is too harmful. Accepting an apology does not always mean returning to the same level of closeness immediately. Apologies become trustworthy when they are connected to memory. If the same issue appears again, the person who apologized should remember the earlier conversation. Repair deepens when the injured person sees evidence that their pain changed future behavior. The best apologies are not performances of guilt. They are acts of responsibility. They say, "I see what I did. I see how it affected you. I will not make you carry this alone, and I am willing to change the part that belongs to me." Apologies also fail when the injured person has heard the same promise before. The next apology may need fewer dramatic words and more practical evidence: a calendar reminder, a changed habit, a difficult conversation, or a clear plan for preventing the same harm. A repair attempt can include asking what would help now, but that question should not shift all responsibility to the hurt person. If someone caused harm, they should arrive with their own understanding and effort, not expect the other person to design the entire repair process. A sincere apology respects the possibility that trust may return slowly. The speaker can take responsibility without controlling the outcome. That humility is often what makes the apology feel safer than a polished speech. An apology fails when it tries to close the case before the hurt has been understood. It works when it opens a real repair process. The words matter, but the listening, accountability, and changed behavior decide whether trust can begin to return. A stronger apology leaves the other person with less confusion about what happened, why it mattered, and what will change next.